real, reactive, and apparent power. Unpacking the fundamentals of AC systems. Good morning. Today, we are diving into the essential concept of AC power in electrical systems, the distinction between real, reactive, and apparent power. Mastering these three components is fundamental to understanding electrical system efficiency, capacity, and cost. The three phases of AC power. Understanding the distinction between working power, sustained power, and total demand. In alternating current, or AC, circuits, power isn't a single, simple value. It manifests in three distinct forms. We'll explore the difference between the power that actually does the work, the power required to sustain necessary fields, and the total power the system must be capable of delivering. Real power, P. Let's begin with real power, often called active or true power. As the workhorse, this is the power actually consumed by the load to perform useful work, such as generating heat, light, or mechanical motion. Its symbol is P, and it is measured in watts or kilowatts. Crucially, this is the power component that utility companies use to calculate your monthly residential energy bill. Reactive power, Q. Next is reactive power, the invisible force. This power doesn't perform useful work. Instead, it is continuously exchanged between the source and the load to maintain the necessary magnetic fields in inductive equipment, like motors and transformers. Its symbol is Q, and it is measured in volt-amperes reactive, or VARs. While necessary, excessive reactive power consumes current capacity without being dissipated as work. Apparent power, S. Finally, we have apparent power. This represents the total demand placed on the electrical system. It is the vector sum of both the real and reactive power components. Its symbol is S, and it is measured in volt-amperes or kVA. Apparent power is critical for engineers, as it dictates the required sizing for all electrical infrastructure, including cables, switchgear, and utility transformers. The beer analogy. To illustrate these concepts simply, we can use the famous beer analogy. Think of the glass capacity as the apparent power, kVA, that's the total volume the utility has to deliver. The liquid beer is the real power, kW, the part you actually consume and pay for. And the foam at the top is the reactive power, kVAR. It takes up space in the glass, limiting the liquid, but serves no useful purpose for quenching your thirst. The power triangle. The relationship between these three powers is not arithmetic, but trigonometric, and it's visualized through the power triangle. Real power, P, forms the horizontal, or adjacent, side. Reactive power, Q, forms the vertical, or opposite, side. Apparent power, S, is the hypotenuse. Because they form a right angle, their relationship strictly follows the Pythagorean theorem. Key formulas. Here are the key formulas defining these relationships. Real power, P, is found by multiplying voltage, current, and the cosine of the phase angle, cos theta. Reactive power, Q, uses the sine of the phase angle. And as we saw with the power triangle, the total apparent power is the square root of the sum of real power squared and reactive power squared, demonstrating their vectorial nature. Power factor, PF. The power factor is a crucial metric, representing the ratio of real power to apparent power. It is essentially the measure of efficiency in an AC system, expressed as the cosine of the phase angle. A power factor closer to 1, or unity, means the system is highly efficient with minimal reactive power. Low power factors are typically corrected by installing capacitor banks, which introduce leading reactive power to counteract lagging inductive loads. Summary comparison. To quickly summarize, real power is measured in watts and performs useful work. Reactive power is measured in VARs and sustains magnetic fields. Apparent power is measured in volt-amperes and represents the total system capacity. Remember the analogy: liquid, foam, and mug size. Technical importance. Understanding these three powers has significant technical and financial implications. Electrical equipment must be sized based on apparent power, kVA, to handle the total current. A poor power factor increases current flow unnecessarily, leading to higher $I to R resistive losses in transmission cables. And finally, many utilities penalize industrial customers for low power factor due to the increased strain it puts on the grid infrastructure. Questions. That concludes our overview of real, reactive, and apparent power. Thank you for your attention. I am now open to any questions you may have.